It's a good start from SM. He cuts off CGM
Very good
Mike's
stuff.
into turn one, but he goes a bit deep. Can Mike's make a move into turn two? They're side by side. Down the inside, CGM Mike's
Okay.
takes the lead. Oh, there's contact and Mike's
Oh
is
no, there's
round. Mike's is
contact
round.
already.
And he's into the wall. And
We might.
SM leads from El Suavo, from DXT Moyland, who makes a move on the inside, but Lee's going to hold it round the outside. Brilliant move
Excellent
from Leo.
driving. Excellent driving from Leo to leave the space. Excellent driving there. Let's just have a look at those are trailing. Quakes is coming in nicely. So it's in Cammy. Unfortunately, CGM Mike's is quite some way behind, but I'm sure he could make up some time as the race progresses.
And here he goes side by side. A bit of a corner cut from Leo Suavo. Really has to get the position back to DXT as we go through the castle section. Difficult section here. Quakes seems to struggle as we go down. SM25 leads from El Suavo, from DXT Moreland, from Quacks, from Sunkami, and CGM Max, who appears to have no front wing.
Oh no. Oh, SM has just
Ooh.
hit the board. Unfortunately, I don't. It would be interesting
Oh,
to see if he's got some wing damage there. It would be interesting to see.
it would. We'll see if he continues. He probably will continue simply because it's 5 laps, and he
Yeah.
doesn't really have time to switch wings. As we
Yeah.
go through the final corner now, onto the straight.
It is interesting to see that El Salvador has used 40% of his ERS at the moment.
Yeah,
DXT's currently on 76%, but I think his straight line speed is quite frightening. I would like to see what his wings are, to be fair, because on the straights he does appear to be absolutely rocketed.
yes, he does. And SM gap to Leo Suave, 7 tenths and 6 tenths behind Leo Suave to Moylan. This is
That
gonna be interesting.
I'll be honest with you, Bolu. I think that's quite interesting because he did have a 1.4-second lead, so there might have been damage from that resulting collision with the
Yeah,
sideboard, which is causing
yeah,
him to lose time.
yeah. If we're looking at his wing right now, there might be a bit of slight damage, but it can't be much. But even then, on a track round this, where you need a bit of downforce, especially in this middle sector, he will
Yeah,
struggle.
yeah,
And I tell you what, Leo Suarez made a mistake and he's hit the wall, and Moreland will go down the inside. Look, thinks better of it.
yeah.
He may save the move for the straight. How much
Uh,
ERS has he got?
He's currently on 81% ERS.
Yeah, so he's
So yeah,
probably saving. He's probably saving.
and that is 20% more than El Suave. So yeah, it looks like his ERS management is quite good because he is keeping pace. So it will be interesting to see when he decides to make that move, if he does decide to make that move.
Yeah. And as we go down at the end of Sector 2, it's a really short Sector 3 following a long Sector 2 here. Moylan takes the corner very well. Leo may have just gone over track limits, but it's a brilliant run from Moylan into the left, into the right. High speed here. Will he go for the move? He surely has. He's going to have ERS, no DRS just yet, but pure slipstream and pace. But the Red Bull's wings must be really low because he's struggling to get past. Here we go, he pulls out. Leo goes defensive. Down the outside. Can he make the move? No, he can't. He can't. But the switch back. And can he go? Oh, he's made it down the inside. That's a brilliant move from Moyland. Absolutely brilliant. They're side by side. Leo tries to hold. Oh, there's contact. There's contact.
I think it's a moment. It's an OTC gang. It's a moment there. A little moment, a bit of a shake. I would
There
also
is.
like to say, sorry to interrupt you, CGM Max is absolutely flying at the back of the grid. He's now changed that 5-second deficit to now 1 second. He is absolutely flying.
Wow. CGM Mike's on a vendetta, but has that turn one incident costed him the race actually, because he was battling for P1 with SM.
Yeah. El Suave's got to be careful here because I haven't seen him cut that corner.
Yeah.
He's got to be
Yeah.
careful.
Track limits are on strict.
Yes.
So 3 corner cutting penalties, that is 3 seconds.
He has fallen out of DRS, but so has DXT Moylan. So I think he's got to use the remaining 10% of his ERS just to get into the DRS.
And I
or
tell you
it's
what,
long.
yeah. CGM Mice is making a move, and he's up to P5 as Sun Kami has lost his front wing. Oh,
He's got into the wall. He's got into the wall. He's definitely got an orange wing there.
Oh, and it's pure drama between the back three, and this has allowed SM and Moylan to escape. But here comes Moylan. He will have DRS surely on the straight. Will he go for the move or will he wait? Will he wait for the next straight coming up in two corners?
SM covering the inside line, but you know that move can't be made there. Definitely not close enough, so he's thought better of it, which makes sense. I would like to also point out that Moyland has also used quite a fair bit of his ERS that last lap, so he's now down to 35%. So it'll be interesting to see whether he opts to store it this lap and then exploit it on the final lap, because SM has 71%. This is a phenomenal drive from him.
Yeah. SM appears to be struggling now. He might have lost that front wing or a tiny bit of that front wing, and Moylan is all over the back of that Mercedes in the Alpine.
Okay, so CGM Mike's pitted again. Maybe I didn't actually see whether he tried to make a move or if there was contact. He may have got some resulting damage from whatever's happened. Because I don't assume he's going for the fastest lap point. Because I don't think that's an option. But yeah, it will be interesting to see why he's gone into the pits.
Yeah, interesting strategy over at Alfa Romeo from CGM Mikes, who had an interesting start to the season. He showed a bit of pace, however, failed to get points essentially.
Yeah. And that can happen, when you are in a league with so many competitors, you are going to have weeks where you get damage or you have collisions, but it's just how you fight back from that.
And here we go. One last chance for Moylan to get the win. Is he close enough? Has he saved enough ERS? DRS is open. He will close. Gives him 15 miles per hour more.
Ooh.
Going into the straight. SM is lagging a bit.
He's lagging a bit, lagging a lot. SM is lagging a lot there.
And I think Moylan just thinks better of it. I think he just thinks
Ooh,
better.
SM's clipped the wall. He's clipped the wall.
Sure, now that front wing has to have damage. And SM, he is jumping all over the place now.
Oh, so
I think Moylan.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, a bit of a lagging issue, because I'm pretty sure I saw Moyland overtake him on my screen. I don't know if you saw the same.
It looks pretty similar on my screen. They look much closer.
Oh, wow.
So maybe Moylan might go for it.
I'll leave you with this battle and I'll
line.
just have a look. I'll have a look down at Mr. Quick, see how he's coping.
So here we go. Into that left, into the right. SM trying to hold on to the lead for a massive 25 points. It's a massive discrepancy between 25 and 18 points. Going into race 2, into the castle section, up the hill we go. Left, right, and then left again. Moyland plotting. Surely he'll go for the move onto the straight.
The ERS is even as well, so this really could be an opportunity here for Moyland, because he will have the DRS and they've got the equivalent ERS percent.
All right.
SM is using it here. It's
and SM's gone
strategy.
defensive, actually. He's gone defensive. Moyland, he covers off the inside. And now Moyland's going to have a brilliant run going into the home straight.
The only thing that can save SM here is a bit of lag, because Moyland's got him here, I feel. I feel he's got him.
Here we go. ERS, DRS, slipstream.
He's got to get out of the slipstream in case he lags. He's got to.
SM is starting to blink. Oh, he's going to take on the line.
Yep.
It's Moyland.
He's taking it. Fantastic racing. Fantastic racing.
800ths of a second between the two drivers. Wow.
Good use of the flipping ERS button from Moyland. Fair play to him. Fair play. Let's just see how others cross the line. Quakes has crossed the line. Sinkami's now crossing the line too. CGM Mikes.
Surely he'll be going for fast slap.
He must be.
Will he get it? CGM Mikes. SM is saying he had damage.
Yeah, I saw it. I absolutely saw it. That's fantastic. This is, if this is the first race, I can't wait to see what the next race is.
Yeah, drama, absolute drama here at Azerbaijan, and going into the next race at Zandvoort, which is a very, very tough track.
It is a tough track indeed, especially in terms of very limited overtaking opportunities. Like so it will be interesting to see where people look to overtake. I have got a bit of information on the Netherlands time trial, and SM sits sixth with a time of 1:11.409, I think. So he might be very quick at this track. So it'll be interesting to see if he can fight back in terms of trying to claim the championship for the mini league. But we don't really know what Moyland has to offer for Netherlands. So it will be interesting to see.
Yeah, Moyland appears to be an outlier, but there is definitely pace
100%.
for DXT Moyland. We saw that today, and we saw very good racecraft as well, keeping that ERS intact, saving the move for the win until the last straight. So,
That
I
was
mean, we
brilliant.
expect, yeah,
And also the decision making as well, because he could have tried to dive bomb at certain corners, opted not to, and obviously preserved his wing as a result. And also shout out to CGM Max because he did get the fastest lap, so he's shown that he has got pace and he's ready
that
to
is
fight back.
brilliant from
So
CGM
brilliant.
Mikes. So your championship standings as it goes into race 2, 25 points DXT, SM 18, Leo Suave with 15, Mr. Quakes 12, Sunkami 10, and CGM Mikes with 9.
Just to
Oof,
confirm, that extra point was given to CGM Max because he has got the additional point for the fastest lap. So that is something that these
yes,
drivers are probably going to have to think about as well on second thought. Just
yeah.
preserving a bit of ERS to push for that. So, in terms of Netherlands, we kind of touched upon it briefly. Where do you think this race can be won and lost? Where are the overtaking opportunities, in your opinion?
I think it can be won and lost in qualifying, to be honest. Uh,
Yeah.
there aren't really many opportunities. However, I'd say I'd pinpoint two. Going into turn one,
Yep.
there's definitely a move around the outside or the inside, uh, where you can have a good run on your fellow opposition. And also, I'd say at the end of the second DRS straight, it's a bit of a
Yes.
lesser opportunity, but I think if you save your ERS wisely, you can get a good run on your fellow drivers. There's definitely a chance there for a move.
And we have to note that obviously CJ and Mike Sam Moyland are on no traction control, so those slow bends on this track could also be an advantage for them. And also, like you said, getting a run on that second DRS straight, although it's small, if you have got the traction out of that corner into the DRS zone, then you could be flying. So it will be interesting to see what people's pace is like around this. But like I did state earlier, SM it's looking good. But yeah, they're off, and
All
at the
right.
moment, Moylan leads.
Yes. As we go round into turn one, DXT Moyland leads and takes it very cleanly, barely touches the banking. As you go around into the long left-hander, he takes it low, comes up high. Brilliant run.
Quakes took a bit of the curb, and I've seen him drop a couple of positions, unfortunately. But let's see if he can fight back into heading into sector two.
As it's 25-1 for DXT Moyland into Sector 1. Leo Suave in second currently. SM in third as it stands. Oh, but oh, he's made a mistake and he's lost it. The EXT Moyland has
I
lost
think he's
it.
lost it.
He's
Oh
lost the
no!
car.
And it's got a spinner, Rooney.
It's such a shame. He was absolutely
Really
flying. But now
flying.
it's SM the Mercedes in first with 50.8 going into the second sector. Now into sector 3. Only a couple of corners to take for SM. This right-hander and a long right-hander leading into the straight. Can he
You've got to
keep
give
it
it to him.
clean?
If he keeps it clean and keeps it on track, he's probably gonna finish on pole here.
And he does. Opens up the ERS, powers towards the line, and a 1:11.8 for SM. Leo
Yeah.
Suave with a 1:12.3, a 5/10th gap between the two of them. But
Ah,
DXT Moylan must be kicking himself. He must be kicking himself.
he's got to reflect on that. I actually didn't see where exactly he lost the car. Do you know exactly? Was it
Yes,
via curb?
he got on the curb at the end of sector one, so the right hander
Yeah.
leading. Yeah,
That's
can't
the
remember what
love-hate
turn that is.
relationship you have. That's the love-hate relationship you have with no
Yeah,
traction control. You hit a curb, you're going flying. So,
it's such a shame. He
it's
was
a shame though.
absolutely fine on that lap, but that is F1 for you. Can he come through the field? That's the question.
It's going to be difficult. He's going to have to try and take at least one car a lap. So, Maybe he could try and
Yeah.
get someone off the start, to be fair, if he gets the right traction. But fair play to El Suave as well, fighting hard. Obviously, he's had
Yeah.
his difficulties in the league before.
Yeah.
You know, his teammate was a championship rival and they collided a few times, but he's showing that he's got pace and he's showing it. So it's going to be good.
Yes.
It's going to be very, very
El
good to see.
Suavo ending on 26 points in the championship. And I mean, that just shows the quality of the league. And ooh,
We have a problem,
we
Houston.
have rain. We have rain.
What in the world
We'll
is
get back
going on
onto
here?
Leo in a second, but this could change it. This does change it all.
There has to be a few setup changes. Oh yeah, there can't be any
Yeah,
setup changes. There could be actually, could
yeah.
there? Yeah, there can be.
Um,
Apart from it, there can be a couple setup changes. Maybe someone's gonna, look to increase their transmission. Maybe increase the tire pressure as
yeah.
well, and reduce
Wow.
the front wing. But we'll see. Over to you.
And we are underway, and it is a good start from SM. It appears they struggle off the line, but I tell you what, is that CGM Mike's coming through. We got two Red Bulls on track now. CGM Mike's are looking to make a move through the middle, but he couldn't make it stick. And it's SM from Leo Suavo, from CGM Mike's, from DXT. He's made up two positions already, and Sun Kami and Quakes are battling on the bank.
Space has been given. Good driving from Kwaku and Sinkami, to be fair. Ooh, DXT Moylan's also offered a bit of space to, I think it's CGM Mike's.
Yes.
So it's good. No casualties so far, so this is good. This is good.
Yeah, very good quality driving in a very difficult situation for these drivers. So massive credit to the drivers.
And no one really prepares for rain, do they? You know,
Yeah.
it's the last thing they would have wanted, to be honest.
Yeah. The chances of spinning it increases. You know, they've got to keep it very level on the throttle as they go through these corners, especially the drivers on no TC,
Yeah.
who are more likely to spin in a situation like this.
Currently sitting in P3 and P4, to be fair. So, SM has a really big opportunity here. If he can just stay ahead of El Suavo, he has an opportunity to
Yeah.
get some points on the
Yeah,
leader.
and it makes it much more difficult to overtake. Oh, as Leo got very close to the wall there, but it makes it much more difficult to overtake in the rain because you've got to measure it to a T. As we see
Oh, there's a
Quakes
dive.
going down the
Fabulous
inside, and he
move.
makes it stick, but the switchback may be on, and there's a bit of contact between Quakes and Mike's, but
Good driving.
Quakes makes it stick.
Very good driving there from Quake. That was a surprise move. It was a move you mentioned going into turn one. So it'd be interesting to see whether he deployed a lot of ERS to make that move stick. But, it's worked.
Oh, and I tell you what, DXT1 has got a really good run on Leo Suave, but it's going to be difficult to overtake in this section. This is the corner in which he made a mistake on. He went a bit too wide, went onto the curb, but he's kept it clean through here.
Taking it excellently there. He's made a lot of time there. Oh, bit of a moment.
Yeah, Leo losing the car a bit, and he's not really gotten to the apex properly. He's a bit late on the apex, but it's going to be tough for DXT1 to make a move. Here we go.
It's clear to see the racers have really done their research because I'm just seeing perfect driving around that apex there. Perfect. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Brilliant to watch. Let's see if he gets the run here though.
Here we go.
ERS has
Round
not
the
been deployed
banking.
yet. It's being deployed. It's happening, Bolly. It's happening. Oh,
Here we go. Can he close the gap? Can Leo keep ahead? I think he's going to keep ahead. I think he's too far back. He is.
yeah, he is.
And that's the main issue with this track. The straight really isn't that long. So any opportunity to overtake, you have to be really tight and close to your opponent.
And that just accentuates just how good that overtake was from Mr. Quakes the previous lap because it looks like it's going to be difficult to see any more overtakes.
Yeah, Quakes has had a lot of doubters coming into the league this year. He was supposed to have a seat. There was a bit of controversy about that. But
Please tell us more. Tell us more. I wasn't there for that.
I can't really recall too much, but apparently he was just robbed of a seat, which had a bit of controversy in the GRL scene. But he's back and he's ready to fight for a seat right now.
And he's shown really a good bit of will to will as well. I think that was something that was questioned by not only the league owner but other competitors. But he's shown good will to will with CGM Mike's previously in the last lap.
100%. And DXT Morton, he was very close to Leo at the end of sector one, but he kind of lost a bit of time. So maybe Leo's gone for a setup that maybe optimizes straight line speed. And I tell you what, Leo isn't actually too far off SM. I think he's close
Yeah.
to gap a bit.
The only
But
thing
here
with
we go.
SM is
DXT
SM
Morning's
don't
got a
get.
brilliant run. Oh, a bit of a snap. But can he still make the move? I think that snap might have affected him. He's got the fastest lap in the process. 2 tenths up. Oh, Leo touching the curb there. Very risky move. But he's kept it clean. And I tell you what, both of these guys, they are catching SM. They are catching.
Yeah. I think SM might be playing a game of cat and mouse here though, because I've just looked at his
Oh
ERS
my god,
deployment.
brilliant run from DXT Moylan. And he's going for the move. Oh, and Leo's onto the grass. He's onto the grass. There might be contact. They kept it clean somehow. But DXT Moylan, he got an absolutely brilliant run.
Fabulous
Brilliant
run.
run. Did not expect to move through there. That's somewhere we just... It's kind of like a Monaco area of the track where you just don't expect someone to make a move there. Wow.
I was getting ready to talk about SM's ERS, and all of a sudden, the move is made. Brilliant stuff.
And instantly he's dropping Leo. He's 8 tenths up, but that is giving SM a bit of a gap, that battle.
Just a bit further back, I think there might be a bit of an issue for CGM Mikes as well. He's losing a bit of time to Quakes, and Sinkami might have a run on him heading into the final lap as we reach the end of the penultimate lap.
Oof, very interesting. The battle for P5 right now, Ferrari versus Red Bull. And SM sets the fastest lap in the process.
It was a very good lap from SM there, and if he keeps it on track, it's going to be very, very difficult for an overtake. But Moylan's already shown that he can overtake anywhere, clearly. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see whether he can make a move on this final lap.
Quake's currently in no man's land, chilling in P4. With CGM Max P5 and Sankami P6. But here is your leader, SM25. A lot of controversy about this man, but he's stepping up to the plate today.
He is. A lot of doubters. But you have to admit, he's got exhilarating pace. He's very, very quick. It's just a case of him, channeling it to proper racing strategy and less of the bozo gene that a lot of the GRL members like to refer to.
Here we go into the DRS. Obviously no DRS due to the rain, but it looks like SM, he will have just enough to keep it ahead of Moylan. However, it's your front two once again, SM and Moylan. These two seem to be running away with it.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Absolutely
and
fantastic.
And around
racing.
The banking, final corner, onto the straight, SM25, fast lap in the process. Moylan takes it though.
He takes the point,
off him. And that point might be pivotal.
Yeah, it will take him into the lead because if I remember correctly, CJ Mikes took fastest lap the last race. So yeah, that additional point wasn't given to either of them. So yeah, very interesting that. And
very interesting.
If my memory serves me correctly, we head into China now, isn't it?
Yep, and that is the 25% race of the day.
Goodness gracious me.
It won't show as much strategy as a 50%, but it will show an ounce of strategy in terms of undercutting, overcutting, and tyre conservation for these drivers.
And just for those who don't know, 25% races will take up 50% of the Season 2 calendar. So, there is still going to be a lot of 25% racing. So it's going to be a good indication as to what, these drivers can do on the 25% track.
Yes, and just on the Season 2 calendar, 16 races is cut down from last year's grueling 24 races. So less room for error.
Absolutely.
As you can see, the results, DXT and Moylan 29 on that fastest lap. So the pace was there. And just as we said in qualifying, if he was able to complete that lap, keep it clean, he might have won that race.
Yep, because if he was in P1 at the start of the race, who's to say he would have been caught? But you know what, that's all hypotheticals. We go on to the next race. This is now in the past. Unfortunately, I did reach out to the league owner to get some stats on China. He did not provide me with them, unfortunately. But in terms of China, it's one of my favourite tracks. It's so technically difficult, as well as a track that requires a lot of straight line speed. You've got that long straight, the DRS straight, which is about 5 miles long. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of setup the drivers opt for, what sort of wings they look for, and if we have rain in the next race, that will be very interesting too, because that will
Yes,
make it extremely
China,
complicated. Yeah.
prone to rain, prone to rain. Um, the race leaders, they got to change that to 25%, and Royal Dukes is on that as usual.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
fair enough. So it looks like the league owner heard me about not having the statistics, and he's just sent them over to me right now. I'm having a little
Brilliant.
bit of a look. Oh, goodness gracious me. Leo's set a pretty decent time of 1:33. Um,
Okay.
Going further up the grid, yeah, he appears to be the fastest, but that's just on the stats that we have. So yeah, that's just on the stats. I haven't got any stats on SM or BT Moyland. So it will be interesting to see whether Leo taps into his inner China and really excels at this race. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. 1 point between DX Team Moyland and SM, and that fastest lap coming in clutch. Could that be the result at the end of the championship? You will have to wait and find out. CGM Mikes and Sun Kami currently fighting for the wooden spoon as it stands, but there's a lot of
We
racing to
don't,
do.
but we don't want wooden spoons, so they got to get rid of that and start getting points to the table. They really got to, because, you know, although it is at the discretion of the winner and Skeezy, you want to kind of push yourself out there with clean racing but quick racing. That's the important thing. It's got to be quick.
Yeah. And going into China, looking at the overtaking sports, there are a few.
Yeah, definitely.
Turn one definitely being one. Obviously, you got the end of the ridiculously long straight, um, and even moves. At the end of sector one, a little dive on Ricardo-esque on Bottas. If you
Yeah,
recall back to 2018, we could see some special racing today.
really, really could. And it'll be interesting as well. The no TC gang. This is a very complex track. The likes of Moyland and CGM Mikes. I would like to see their throttle inputs around, especially the first bend, because that bend is treacherous. So it'll be interesting to
Yeah,
see how they manage to maneuver that.
yeah, prone to spins around that corner. Definitely, it's actually a very spinny track in general. A
Yeah,
lot of mistakes to be made, but a lot of times to be gained at the same time.
100%. And you can tell people are strategizing, because it's taken us longer than any other track so far to actually get into qualifying. So
Yeah,
people are obviously
definitely.
changing their wings and all of that. So let's go.
All right,
DXT Moyland.
and you're on board with DXT Moyland as it stands. Into turn one, how does he take it? Pretty fast, say the
Yeah.
least. Goes wide and then cuts back into the right hander. Sorry, into the left hander. My bad. And he appears to be first. Actually, no, Leo Suavo
El Suavo's
has
exit there, absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal
brilliant
there.
work for Leo Suavo. So maybe that time trial work coming into play. 24-5 for El Suavo.
Also, just to let the championship contenders are kind of choking it a bit here. SM currently sitting in P5, DXT Moylan sitting in P3. So,
Yeah.
could we have a
Could
change of
the
standings?
yeah? Could the tables turn? Leo Suavo, you mentioned earlier, 20. He finished with 26 points, but it wasn't really a pure case of his ability to drive. He had brilliant pace around Brazil before
Yeah.
he lost the car coming out of the pit lane, unfortunately for him, and out Italy as well. Oh, but Leo
Oh
Suarez
no,
spun
there's
it!
a spin!
Oh, Leo
Oh
Suarez spun it!
crikey, he was driving
And the
outstanding up
commentator's
until that
curse might
point.
have just, it's so unfortunate. He was on fire. Now
I can tell
CGM
you for
Mikes.
free, DXT Moyland has literally just taken 3 positions. I need to see what his wings are, because that is a joke. That is an absolute joke. He's lost
Yeah,
it
like
there again. Oh,
he's
SM,
lost his muscle
SM.
once again. SM, but it's gonna be. It looks like it's gonna be CGM Mikes on pole. SM in second. Wow,
Oh,
massive
okay.
gap for CGM Mikes.
Massive
I
gap.
think a lot of messy laps there, but El Suavo, he will be kicking
Kicking
himself.
himself.
Absolutely kicking himself.
Absolutely kicking himself.
Oh, massive shame for Leo. Massive shame for Leo. And he's wanted this so bad. He's a love hate character in the GRL community.
Wait,
Um,
there might there might have been some moments. Sorry to interrupt you because I totally agree.
Go
Leo's a
for it.
legend, but I'm seeing plus 10 seconds here. So did DXT Moyland have an issue? I don't know if I
Yeah,
picked up
he
on that.
might have spun into the straight.
Yeah, because he was going at about 400 miles an hour. So he might have just locked up. Who knows? He might have locked up because he is on no assists, I believe. So that
Yeah.
might have come back to haunt him.
Yeah, that no ABS is a very difficult skill to master. I've struggled
Yeah.
with it myself, so
Oh goodness.
can't
Sorry, not to
imagine
make
what
this
he's
about
going through.
you though, Bolly. But what are
Yeah.
you intending to do going into the next season? Are you thinking of taking off a couple of assists, or are you going to keep it as it is?
Oh, I'm looking at no traction control. I've done a bit of practice in my spare time, but
Yeah.
certain tracks I have been struggling with.
Yeah.
I cannot lie.
Yeah.
Case in Point, Mexico, that sector two.
Yeah. To
Just
be honest, I don't want you to give away. I don't want to give away too much about what you're doing in your secret prep. I was just
yeah,
interested to know whether you're going to take up some assists. I don't want you to give anyone else in the league any ideas.
yeah.
But yeah, that's fair enough. I think I'm veering towards that as well, trying to take off some no TC on certain tracks, but other tracks, no, it's not going to work because I can't keep it on the track. But anyway, back onto the race. I wish we could see what's going on okay, they're on the track. Let me be
Oh,
quiet and over
yes,
to you.
14 laps, tire wear, all highness lights on, away we go, and a really slow start from everyone, to be honest.
From
Oh no,
everybody.
we
Oh,
got a
it's a
formation
formation lap.
lap.
Apologies,
Oh,
people. We've
we've
had a
wondered why the
moment. The
lights were going out
commentary have
so
had a
far.
moment.
Oh, had a mare.
I was seeing someone. I think St. Cammy was going backwards. I was
I was very confused. I was like, wait, what's going on?
could
Royal
have been our
Dukes have
very
added the
first.
formation
Oh,
lap,
Royal Dukes.
and
People have got things to do, Mr. Royal Dukes. But anyway, formation lap. It is
very
representative of what we
interesting.
do. Yeah.
Very interesting, the tyre choices, I must say. CGM Whites on mediums, SM on softs,
Yeah.
Quakes seems to be on softs, I guess, seems to be on softs,
Yeah.
and DXT on mediums and El Suavo on softs, also Sun Cami on softs.
I have to say that appears to be an interesting call from DXT potentially. Did you say he was in mediums?
Yeah, he's on mediums, yeah.
Because if he has the raw pace, then potentially he would have thought to go on the softs to maybe make some moves. But maybe he thinks he can do those moves on the medium tyre, to be fair. But
Yeah.
yeah, it will be interesting to
There's
see.
also a possibility, lower fuel, better tyre,
Yeah,
faster tyre.
yeah.
He might be thinking ahead. Oh, a bit of a moment from
A
DXT
bit of,
Moyland on the formation, like trying to warm up those tyres. And
he's been
he's been disqualified.
disqualified.
Oh,
Those tyres are going to be frost. It's going to
yeah.
be a shame for him.
Oh, that and mediums as well. The tougher tyre to start on.
I do believe the safety car is on as well, so maybe that's why he probably opted not to go for the medium compound tyre, because obviously if there's a safety car, it kind of restricts you going forward.
Yes, definitely. Strategy will come into play today as CGM Mike surrounds the penultimate corner, warming up the tyres. He's going to try and back up the grid, make sure
Yeah.
he's not on the grid for too long, as Sun Can is very far behind. He's just gone through the penultimate corner now.
We must say this is a very big opportunity for CGM Max if he can, get away from the rest of the grid, because like I said, his qualifying time was quite quick in comparison to the rest. So this is an opportunity for him to get some points back leading into the final two races.
Oh, and he's overshot. He's overshot on the grid.
So
Big
technically
mistake for
CGM
CGM
Max is
Max.
starting P2 basically. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those
God.
medium tyres, he's going to struggle. But here we go. And we are underway. And it looks like SM has got a brilliant start.
That's a great start from St. Cammy. He's overtaken DXT Moyland. That's a great
brilliant
start.
move. And Sun Cami's sent it down the inside.
Oh, is that a moment?
He's gone in the grass. He's gone into the grass. He tried to avoid any contact.
Which is good racing, to be fair. Very, very good racing.
Yeah.
Back to the front.
But
CGM
to the
Max
front. Oh,
managed to maintain
CGM
the
Max.
position.
Round the outside we go. SM, CGM Max side by side. Will SM try and move down the outside? He will.
Oh, he
of course he will. It's SM. He's got to make the move. Max is on mediums.
Yep, fantastic. Good racing from SM. He's realised that the move wasn't on and he has pulled out. That's brilliant.
And here we go. SM will be applying pressure to CGM Max as the soft tyres, they do grip in a bit faster than the mediums. However, around lap 3, lap 4, that's when those mediums will be probably the better tire.
Lap 3, you're giving them too much credit. Lap 2, those soft runners are going to be panicking.
Yeah,
Yep.
the tire deck around China is not for the for
Yeah,
the hard races, the hard leaners on the tires. To be honest,
100%.
as we go down the long
Ooh,
straight, and I tell you what, CGM Mike's a bit of weaving, a little bit of weaving, but
yep.
he's realized SM is side by side with him, and SM
Yep.
will make the overtake round the outside if he can keep it clean. Good defending from Meister. They're
Good
side by
defending.
side, going into the final corner. What can Mike do to defend? Can he hold it round the outside? Brilliant racing.
Brilliant racing. He's got to slap on the ERS.
Yeah.
He has to maintain track position to back up the softs. He has to.
Here we go into turn 1. The long right hander.
Oh, Quakes and El
Keeping it
Suave, bit of a
ooh,
moment. Quakes and El Suave
drama.
had a moment. Contact.
Oof.
All
Drama
the medics.
across the drama across the whole grid as it stands. SM's gone a
3
bit wide
seconds.
and he's got a
Wait, hang
time
on.
penalty already.
Lap 2.
That's gonna come in very, very unfortunate for SM if the
Lap
grid is close
2.
at the end of the race. Lap 2.
That's a late
Oof.
safety car. He's finished with the time penalty. He's finished.
Yeah. And SM, he's rode the curve a bit and he's gonna lose a bit of time to Quakes. And we haven't talked about Quakes much, to be honest. Oh, there's a yellow card.
Oh no! Moments
Moment,
everywhere.
CGM Mike's. Oh, and the
CGM
tires.
Max has had a mare.
He's lost it. Oh, CGM Mike's from P1 has lost it. Oh, that is absolutely horrific for CGM Mike. And I think there's a bit of, I think it's a bit of head loss, to be honest, because he keeps spinning the car, trying to get back into the race.
Wait, I don't know if it's just me or my screen is bugging, but I'm seeing a 1 minute 40 deficit from Kwaku to SM. Let me get the map
Uh,
up. Might be a bit of a decent issue.
yeah, it's 9 tenths as it stands. Kwaku's
Oh, it's nine.
yeah,
Okay.
he's right behind him as it stands, and we go into lap 3 with your leader SM25 from Mr. Quakes from DXT Moyland, El Suave 26, Sun Cami, and CGM Mikes. And I tell you what, DXT
Okay.
Moyland's gone for a move round the outside of Quakes on the medium tires. Can he make
Yep.
it stick? Quakes pushes him wide, but Mikes will
Quaku's got
have the
yeah.
DXT will have the inside run into next corner, but he can't stick around. Those mediums just not give him enough grip to make the move there.
Yeah, DXT Williams probably a bit upset he didn't get enough space there, but you know it's hard racing and it needs to be done. Quaku needs the points, and I don't blame him. He needs the points, so he's fighting hard. Fair play to him.
Yeah, Quaku defending for his life as it stands, defending for a seat as it stands. He will want to impress Skeezy77, who's currently watching
Yeah.
in the team leader for Aston Martin, who's
I
looking
can
for
hear
another
Skeezy
driver.
in the background. He's saying, "Go on, Quakes." Oh, that was just a bit of humour. He's
Yeah.
not actually doing that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Saying Kami, 3 seconds behind.
Yeah.
Oh, someone shot a bit deep there elsewhere.
Yeah. El Suave looking for a move, maybe a bit punchy after the spin he had in qualifying.
Yeah, CJ Matt says he's got to keep his head because, like I said, there can be a safety car. I don't know if there are safety cars on, to be fair, but there may be a safety car later on in the race. So he's just got to keep his head down, and there may be an opportunity.
Yep. DRS opens on this lap. No one able to make a move, maybe stuck in a DRS train as it stands. As we go into the final corner, no one trying to make an early stop. Oh, a little bit of a moment from DXT Moyland. And I tell you what, Leo has a good run on him. But I don't think he'll be able to make the move.
Though. It would be interesting. I might have a look at the race director at some point to see how SM accrued those 3 seconds. Because was it as a result of the competing with who was it, CGM Max? Maybe.
Yeah, that could be a possibility. That could be a possibility, and that would be a huge shame for SM25 if he's accumulated the penalty. I have a bit of history with that at Singapore, so
yeah, and we're heading to that track as well. Don't worry, you'll be able to give your 2 pence on removing of pens.
Oh,
SM might want to get his race engineer through to, race control and see if they can get those removed. He might want to do that now.
yeah.
Because Kwaku is actually flying right now. This could be a potential P1 for
And I
Kwaku
tell
if
you
he
what, we
just
got
keeps
a
it on track.
yellow flag in sector 2. Someone spun it.
Oh, it's looking like a red car. It's Nkami,
Oh, it's
unfortunately.
Sankami, yeah.
He's really got to cool down those tyres. He's got to just keep his head cool and those tyres because he will keep spinning and he's having another moment. He's just got to take his time around the track. Bear in mind that CGM Max is actually making quite a lot of time, which is fair
Yeah,
play
he's
to
now
him.
2.5 seconds behind him. You can probably see him going
Yeah.
into that corner right now. And I tell you what, DXT Morning's got a brilliant run onto Quakes. He's going
Yeah.
to look for the move down the outside. They both have DRS. Can
Yeah.
Quakes hold on to
Outstanding.
DXT?
Really
Can't
good
make the
defending.
move around the outside again. Quakes has been absolutely brilliant in terms of his defending.
Good
But
defending,
he is
yeah.
blinking. That ERS is starting to flash.
Flashing already.
Oh, you! I tell you
He
what.
might need to. He might need to go to the pits. You might be able to
Yeah.
accrue about 40% ERS. But
Man, need a two stop for that. Oh,
yeah.
Leo
Oh,
Suave, go for it.
Leo's made a
Move,
move
what a
on
move from
DXT.
Leo. Can he
SM
make it
is
stick? Can
licking
he
his
hold it
lips right
round the
now.
outside, side by side, into the left-hander? Here we
Oh,
go. Leo Suave will
Suarez
have the
flashing.
inside, but you think he thinks better of the move.
I don't think he's got the choice. He's flashing as well. I don't know if you noticed. He's flashing.
Oh, he's flashing.
He ain't got the
Everyone's
battery.
flashing.
Oh, crikey.
Oh.
This is brilliant. This is fantastic racing. People really pushing their cars to the limit. Fantastic to watch.
As it stands, SM with the 3 second penalty, he will fall currently into P4. So he's got to step on the gas, got to build an advantage, but those soft tyres are probably screaming at him to come in.
Absolutely. CJ Mike's eyeing up a move in Sinkami as well. Oh, Sinkami's had a spin.
Oh, he's had a spin, yeah, he's gone
And that,
round.
to be honest with you, that happens when you spin out on a track like China. It's crazy because the tyres, like you say, they start screaming, and it's so difficult to keep it on track, whether you're a no TC or not. It's proved
Yeah,
too much of a challenge. He might have to consider going into the pit and changing
yeah,
those tyres because I think they're done.
yeah, as I tell you
DXT
what,
Moylan,
Quakes
Moylan
makes a
and Quakes.
dive bomb on DXT Moyland, but Moyland makes a switchback and he is now up into P2. Anyone coming to the pits? Yes.
Yeah, Quakes.
Yes, SM and Quakes into the pits. Mercedes and McLaren coming into the pits. Now, question is, who can make the most out of it? SM, Mercedes, onto the soft... Wait, what? He's onto the mediums. He's onto the medium tyres, as it stands.
I do fear that Mr. Quakes has lost a lot of time there. That was quite a slow pit entry. That
Yeah,
may cost him in the end.
yeah. SM made a valuable amount of time on Quakes, and I tell
Yeah,
you what, that's kind of slowed him up into El Suave. And
yeah.
question is, has SM built enough of a gap? I tell you what, El Suave's going to go for the move. Oof. Those cold tires, they need a bit of time to bite in, but Leo Suave, if he sees a gap, he's going to go for it.
Yeah, 100%, and I don't blame him. That's what you've got to do. You've got to seize the opportunity when it arises, and I think the dive bomb is coming here.
Here we
Is
go,
there
Leo
gonna? Oh no,
Suave. He's
he's
in the
thought
Red
better of it.
Bull, but can't do the Max Verstappen or
Brilliant
Daniel
racing.
Ricciardo dive bomb.
I did see Quakes leave a bit of room there just in case the dive bomb did come. It's fantastic racing etiquette there. Oh,
Yeah.
bit of a moment though.
Oh, and
Oh, oh.
Sun Cammy. He's got a 5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But
It
I tell you, Leo
happens. It
go for the
happens.
move. Oh, he thought about it. He thought about it. Leo, known for the dive bomb, known for making that late move. Leo versus Quakes. This will be a brilliant battle going into sector 3,
Yeah,
into the left-hander. Now we've got a long right-hander. But Leo's gone a bit wide. I tell you what, he's gone a bit wide. And it gives Quakes a bit of
yeah,
time. DXT Moylan sets a fastest lap on those medium
yeah.
tyres, on his old
Yeah.
medium tyres.
He's showing off now. He really is showing off, and fair play to him. On to CJ Mike, though. He's making a bit of time. I think he's enjoying the clean air here, and he's going to fly for a few more laps. I think he probably stretches this to lap 9, maybe lap 9, lap 10,
Possibly.
potentially.
And all side by side, a bit of a moment for Leo Suave as you look to make the move on Quakes, but it's looking like he's going to struggle to make that move.
Ooh.
Quakes has been very resilient today.
Yeah, it's been brilliant defending. He's really fighting for his life out there. Really fighting for his life.
And now we got to talk strategy because
Yeah.
these guys right now, especially SM to be honest, who's he has fresh tires and fresh air, and he's not battling anyone. He will be
Yeah,
gaining on Mikes and Moyland, who obviously started on the mediums.
yeah.
When is it the right time for Mikes and Moyland to come in?
I'll be honest with you, Mike's has to stretch it as far as he can, whereas Moyland, he really has to be having. I hope he has. Oh, a bit of a moment there. Sorry, SM, just
Yeah.
killing a bit of wildlife there. Sorry, but back to what I was saying. DXT Moyland has to be looking at his map, looking to see what exactly is happening with SM, because
Oh, it's a
someone has
spin.
spun,
Oh,
and I
I think
think
it's
it's
CGM Mikes.
CGM Mike's. Yeah, so I think
Oh,
Moyland's got to think about pitting sooner rather than later. I do think.
definitely. And I tell you what,
Just out
oh,
of
CGM
interest,
Mikes,
what?
he spun it again.
Oh,
He
it
spun it
happens.
again. Oh, I think
What
that,
what what
yeah.
what was the pit time? I wasn't really paying attention. What was the pit time roughly? About
Oh, I think it
20
was
seconds?
around, yeah, 20 seconds ish. So I
Okay,
think
so
Moyland might have the gap. He might have completed the overcut on these
yeah,
guys.
he might have done that. He might have done that.
As Moyland, he's going into turn three as it stands, whereas these guys, right, SM
Ooh,
has gone
yeah,
behind
but
the
you know
corner.
what? I think SM's got something cooking here. You know. Oh,
Yeah,
yep, you're right on
36,
schedule.
7
And I
for
tell you what,
SM.
as well, he's actually got a lot of ERS. So I think SM has actually got this planned out a bit better than we think, and he's going to start deploying some ERS when
Yeah.
he notices or thinks that DXT Moylan is going to go into the pit.
But that 3 second penalty looms above his head as it stands, and
Yeah,
that might just cost him this race, to be honest.
yeah. But he's got the fastest lap point, which that's going to make it damage
Yeah.
limitation somewhat. But he has got that
Ooh,
at the moment.
sorry to cut you off. Here comes Leo Suavo down the inside. The Ricardo X dive on Quakes. They're side by side into the left hander. Surely one of them has to lift off. Ooh, Quakes cuts him off a bit, but Leo's gonna cut back, but he can't make the move stick. And it seems like Leo's getting frustrated here.
Yeah, I mean
Oh, he's gone for the move and he spun.
oh
Oh, he's gone for the
no.
move. And as I was saying, a bit of frustration kicking in for Leo Suave, and he's gone for a move that really wasn't there.
Yeah, he
And
didn't really have the
oh,
run. He didn't have the run. He didn't have it there. I've got to say, he wasn't aligned with Quake, so he probably should have conceded. But, it happens. He's still got time to, still 6 laps left. We'll see what he can do. He hasn't really lost the position.
and DXT Moyland is in. He's in the pits. Our race leader is in the pits.
Yet,
What can the Alpine team do? They've been pretty good on pit stops this season.
or last
And
season,
yeah, last
they had
season
a lot of
even.
wing changes.
From your side or Rayan's side.
From both,
And I tell you
Oh,
what,
this is
SM,
racing.
here we go. SM, he will take the lead. And I tell you
SM
what,
has to deploy some ERS here though,
yeah, he's
because
got to
those soft
move.
tires. Yeah, he's got to keep it moving.
Oh, and also picks up a 3 second penalty. He picks up a 3 second time penalty. And that might just ruin his chances, even if he catches Quakes again. But onto your leading battle. DXT
This is a
Moyland on
phenomenal battle.
soft tires. SM25 on, I think, 3 lap old medium tires. This will go down to the wire. The question is, will DXT Moylan play it smart or play it safe even and just stay behind SM, or will he go for the move and go for glory on track?
I think he's going to go for glory. I think he's going to go for glory. He's shown some fantastic overtaking. I think he's going to try to get the move done as soon as possible and just try and fly. But we know what SM's capable. Oh, bit of grass there
Yeah,
again from SM. You've got
yeah,
to
a
be
bit of
careful
shrubbery,
there.
a bit of shrubbery from SM. Here we
You
go.
know,
DRS
yeah,
will open right now. That rearing flap giving him around 15 miles per hour
yeah,
more speed, and he
yeah.
blasts past. It wasn't even a competition. Will SM go for the dive bomb back? No, he won't. He thinks better of it. And now,
This is
the
brilliant.
question is, can SM make a move back? Because SM will have DRS going into turn one. And we know SM is a man for a dive bomb, if I've
He's a
ever
man for a
seen one.
dive bomb, and what I have seen, I haven't really seen him race often, but his ERS, is very, very good. And, a notable person who likes to store DRS is Gel as well, the championship
Yeah.
winner. He's very good at storing ERS. Looks like SM is trying to use that tactic and try to make a move later on in the race, but we will see.
We shall see. It looks like DXT Moyland is going to pull a bit of time. Obviously, those soft tires. Um, definitely going to be more grippier. And I tell you what, we've got a bit of an exclusive here. We've got
We
Royal Gambiza, the GRL creator, the founder, on
the
the Skypad Royal.
founder, the criminal. I'm joking, but the founder. Yeah, so we've got him there.
Like the
What have you got for
Skypad,
us,
ladies
Royal?
and gents.
What have you got for us? Talk to us.
And it seems like El Suavo is contesting the move. He's contesting the collision between himself and Quacks. This could
Very
be looked at by the
interesting.
FIA here.
Okay.
Oh,
So
very
are the
interesting.
FIA working on that at the moment?
It seems to me, seems
Okay.
like El
Well,
Suavo was at fault for it.
yeah.
But we'll leave that for the
Fair
FIA
enough.
to deliberate. Back
Yeah.
to you guys in the commentary team.
Thank you,
Fantastic. Thank you very
Royal.
much for that input.
And
It's
I'll
always
tell
good to
you,
hear from Royal. Always good to hear from
yeah,
him, really and truly.
great guy, great guy. Give me a pay rise.
Me too.
DXT Moyland, he did set a purple Sector 2, so he looks like he is on one. And yes, that is the fastest lap from DXT Moyland, 36.0. That extra point coming in useful once again for DXT Moyland, and the strategy as well. The long
I
game,
do. Yeah.
it's looking like it's the right way to go.
I think SM's really got to think about it here now. He's got to, 5 seconds at the moment? He's got to make 5 seconds. He's really got to just keep the car on track and just think about keeping Quakes behind him, I think, and just think about the next couple of races. I think that's the best thing for him to do. He shouldn't try and do too much, like they're going on grass again. It's not doing his tyres any favours at all. So he's got to keep it on track and just drive sensibly here, in my opinion.
Yes, the gap from SM to Quakes is 10.1 seconds as it stands. However, obviously with that penalty, the gap is 7 seconds. Can Quakes make up that time? It's probably unlikely unless SM makes a mistake. Oh, CGM might, yeah, there's the pace. He's had the pace. And that is the story of CGM Mike's Galaxy Racing League career, to be honest. He's had
No,
pace.
I don't think it's the story. I must cut in here. I've seen CGM
Okay.
Mike do some criminal stuff on the track, respectfully. But he has got pace. But sometimes I feel like he does get too aggressive. I have to be honest with you. But he has got fantastic pace, and it's good that he's displaying it now. It's just a shame that he's spun out, unfortunately.
Yeah. The lack of consistency for CGM Mike's really hampering his progress, and probably the reason why he's in this mini league in the first place.
But I'll be honest with you, Skeezy could think about it here because he is showing he's got great pace. So, something for Skeezy to think about. Like I said, he's got his pen and notepad, and he's really, really making some notes on what he's seeing. Oh! CGM Mike's
CGM Mike's, oh no! We were just singing his praises. And he's lost the car once again. Oh, it's a calamitous.
Sorry, I need a moment. I need a moment.
Take your time. It's really poor from CGM Mike's because I think the pressure is getting to him, and I think the setup as well. You've got to master your setups, a track around here where tyre wear is high and all of that jazz. He's got to
But we have to give it to him though. He is on no traction control, so
exactly.
It can happen at any moment. You could spin on a straight with no TC.
It's ridiculous.
The practice you've got to put on. Let's see what the throttle input is there. Oh, I can't see it. His character's hand's blocking it. Oh, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, it's something he's got to work on and reflect on, to be honest.
And back to your lead as we go. DXT and Moylan's got 3 seconds on SM25, and it looks like he's going to breeze away to victory unless there could be an error. We've seen it before. He's not immortal.
I tell you what, Bolu, if Quakes puts his head down, the gap is now 7-ish seconds. If he puts, imagine it, and that would really put Moyland in a very good position to win this league if Quakes can, step on it and get himself into P2 and put himself in a better position, to win the league.
But I think from our first 3 races, we've seen a distinct first clear 2, a bit ahead of the field.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see whether Moyland is thriving on competing with SM, and if he wants to pick him as a teammate. Who knows? He might he might want the competition, or he might want to be driver one. Skeezy, I'm joking, but yeah, that's that's what Moylan's got to think about and ponder.
Definitely.
That does look like a very difficult corner. It's just out of curiosity. Is China in the main league? Is it?
I can't remember.
Because if it is, I'm already seeing parts of this track that I'm going to struggle on a lot.
It is.
Oh, crikey.
Race 12.
I should have joined this race. So this is the end of the penultimate lap. We will see what the final lap brings. I think for Moyland, it's just about keeping it on track, don't you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. Just gotta bring it home at this point.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So we head on to the final lap. Moylan looks like he's in control of this race, to be fair. SM, like I said, is probably opted for the damage limitation route. Quakes is looking good as he leaves the longest bend in history onto that little straight. El Suavo too is also looking good as we approach the conclusion of this race. Sankami looks like he might be trying to make a move on CGM Mike's at some point. He's got a little bit of ERS stored up. Nothing in comparison to CGM Mike's ERS. But yeah,
Here we go.
it's looking very, very good. And I don't see much changing it towards the end of this race. Maybe
Yeah.
P5 and P6. I don't see much changing though.
I mean, DX Team Moyland has nearly lapped two drivers ahead of him.
Yeah.
It's,
And that's not a good look. It really isn't.
yeah, an emphatic performance from DX Team Moyland. He's definitely put himself as a contender, possibly for top 10, if you're thinking about it. If he does make the league, that's it.
Yeah.
Definitely contender for top 10. And it's looking very tight between the top drivers in this league.
Yeah. Fair play to Mr. Quakes. He's definitely gone back and he's done some work on his own racing and in terms of racing strat and keeping it on track. And this has been a very clean race from him too. Very good defending. He managed to keep Moylan behind him, who is a very, very quick driver for quite a considerable period of time. So that is excellent. El Suavo crosses the line and we wait for CGM Max and Kami to just wrap it up. And we head to the final two races. I meant that respectfully, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they have spun, they've had their moments. And
yeah, it's been
very,
an
very
unfortunate race
difficult.
for those two.
Yeah, most definitely.
Question is, can Sankami get into DRS? Even though he's got the penalty, he might just go for it for pride.
Yeah,
9/10 is the gap. He might have it.
CGM Max has gone very, very wide there.
And he's gained 5/10. Oof. On
I
that
don't think
one
that
corner.
curb is...
I tell you what. Sankami.
Ooh. A bit of a
Just
moment. That might have cost you. That might have cost
that
you.
might have just cost him.
Unfortunately.
Because he had the run. He had the perfect run. Question is, would he go for a dive bomb? He looks at it, but thinks better. DJ and Mike's might just hold on to that P5. And I tell you what, it looks like he will. An unfortunate race for those two.
It's been unfortunate, but at the same time, it's been brilliant. There's been some brilliant defending, and people have showcased, what they can bring to the table in terms of raw pace. I think CJ Mike's left with the fastest lap, if I'm correct, or did someone else take it back?
We shall find out. That extra point, you never know. In those last few races, if Miles can get 2 wins,
yeah,
it's a possibility. He might just come in clutch.
Just having a quick look at the GRL League chat, which consists of various members. They seem to be very impressed with the racing that we're seeing today. I think Skeezy's obviously I think he's just indicated that he really is impressed with what he's seen so far. So fair play to the drivers.
Yeah.
They really are showcasing what they can bring to the table and what they have to offer.
Yeah, and Mike's did get that fastest lap, by the way, 3 temps up on DXT. So definitely he's got pace in the bag, but he's just got to find that consistency, which is very tough on no TC.
Yeah, very, very tough. And it will be interesting to see what the championship standings look like at the moment. DXT
Yes.
Moyland is on 69 points. SM closely follows him with 61 points. El Suavo on 42 points and Mr. Quakes on 39 points, with CGM Mike's following on 30 points and Senkami on 26 points. So yeah, still a lot to play for. Like you said, a race win is 25 points. It'll be interesting to see how the remaining 2 races go. So in terms of Bahrain, what are your thoughts? Because you finished. Oh, we actually had a moment, didn't we?
Yeah, we had
a serious moment on there.
Oh,
yeah.
Lord, yeah.
Wow, interesting. But yeah, you finished P6, I think it was.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I think it was P11, you know.
P11.
Because I had the perfect strategy in terms of the safety car. I played it really well, and I came out in P3. However, I tried streaming for the first time on university Wi-Fi. Not a good idea. So unfortunately, I think I lagged into you on the restart.
So essentially, you cost me about 12, 13. I'm joking, but yeah, it's all in the past. It's all last seasons. But moving forward into Bahrain, where do you think this race can be won and lost?
It's an interesting track because tyre wear is high, but luckily it's a 5-lap race for these drivers. So I'd say it could be won and lost turn one into turn 4. We saw it in real life as well with Verstappen and Leclerc. Question is who can use the ERS and DRS the wisest. I think that's the best opportunity.
I agree with you, but I must admit this, and I've said it before. I say it to myself. Sector 2 for no TC, it's a mad thing. It's going to be crazy. If you have no TC in Sector 2, those slow corners, the launch into that second DRS zone, you could be flying. So I really do feel like you've got to give it to Moyland and CGM Mikes. If they really do switch on at quali, it could be a long day. But we'll see, because, SM's shown great pace so far, and so have the other drivers, to be fair. So it'll be very interesting to see the battle between, no TC and TC. I think Sector 1, the TC guys are going to have a lot of advantage. Sector 2, the no TC guys will be flying. It will just see who can peg it in Sector 3. But yeah, back to you. I think qualifying will start in a couple of seconds.
25 seconds until quali starts. You got the drivers thinking of their strategies, maybe going lower wings than expected, just for overtaking purposes. How would you consider a race setup over a quali setup around here?
For 5 laps, you've got to go quali setup. There's not a lot of time. You've only got 2 laps of DRS, haven't you, or 3 even, or 2.5.
Yeah.
So I would definitely focus on quali. So that would be higher wings, especially for that sector 2. And then in the race, you just kind of try and knock off a bit of that front wing. But you've got to go for quali lap, because there's such little racing yet they're actually doing on the 5 lappers.
And
got to go for a quali setup, I think.
Sun Kami appearing in first as it stands,
I tell you what.
Brilliant performance from him. He's dropped down, maybe broke a bit too early. But I tell you what, he's come out on the coin, it's very tight between the drivers as it stands. It must be. Because Sun Kami, he did get that up to 1.
I tell you what, P1 and P2, this is the part where they've got to come alive. DXT and CJ Max have to come alive here, and I think they are. Traction gang. Absolutely stealing the show. Oh, no way. El Suavo's gone a bit wide there.
Is that an invalidation?
No, I don't think he gained an advantage. But CJ Max's exit into this DRS zone has been outstanding. He's now P1. DXT.
Yeah, switching back and forth between these 2 drivers. Leo Suavo must have lost the car.
But I tell you what, this end sector, this is where TC people can come back alive. I think SM, he's got to get a move on if he wants to catch CJ Max and DXT Moyland.
Definitely. As we go for the final corner, a bit of track limits could cost anyone, but they keep it clean, it seems. Down to the straight, full power, DRS open. Here we go.
Yeah, SM's done it. I told you, Sector 3. I told you. I told you. I told you. TC. Sector
Wow,
3 is criminal.
SM25. Absolutely brilliant.
I said it. I knew it. SM. Oh, unbelievable. The exit when you have TC, unbelievable stuff. You know what I think it is? DXT, Moyle and CJ Max probably got complacent after Sector 2. They probably saw a couple of purples. And then on that exit, they just didn't put their foot down on the throttle close enough or quick enough.
I mean, look at the gap. 700s between the top three.
It's brilliant.
Very, very tight. You've got to love to see that. We love to see that.
And you know, this is pretty much like the Bahrain actual quali. We had Alec, unbelievable quali pace, but in the race it does get a bit tricky. You know, as tires start to disintegrate, etc. You know, and Ams took him. So I think that it really is a battle of the assists here, and it's going to be interesting to see whether Moyland and CJ Mikes and SM have a very clean battle for these 5 laps.
Definitely. Ams, who has left the GRL, however, picked up a race win in Bahrain, 51 points in total in a couple of races. So, and a former Aston Martin teammate, so he probably would have been had that seat if he didn't leave the league. But here we are. We are underway in now, and SM gets a brilliant start. And he cuts off GXT. Yeah. It's like SM will hold the lead going into turn 1.
Quakes is going for it. Quakes is going for it. Quakes has gone for it.
A bit of contact here and there, and SM's made a mistake. Oh, and SM. Quakes picks up a time penalty, and it's 3 wide. Oh, surely someone's got to back out. And I tell you what, DXT Morning thinks best for a bit. Lives to fight another day.
Is going for blood here.
I think he's got to make the move sticks, and he has made it stick. Brilliant move from CGM Max, who takes the lead at the end of sector 1. But SM, could he go around the outside? CGM Max kind of squeezes him.
It's still going to be the battle of the exits here. I think it's going to be interesting to see how CGM Max gets out of this sector 2.
Yeah, definitely. We saw SM
there we go.
In sector 3, and that launch off that corner. The no TC coming in massive for CGM Max, and when DRS comes into play, if he's still in the lead, that can definitely play a massive factor.
Yeah, this is brilliant racing. Huge for the championship as well at the moment. SM made a very, 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 very brave dive bomb there. Outstanding racing, absolutely phenomenal.
How has he kept that clean? SM25 with a dive bomb off the ages, and they're going to be 3 wide going into the final corner.
DXT Moylan's made the move as well.
Follows SM through, follows his championship rival through, and I tell you what, he's got a brilliant run. DXT on SM.
He's got a fantastic run here.
Here we go, no DRS, pure
Leo Suardo's in the background.
Oh, Leo Suardo!
No! CJ Mikes has spun him.
CJ Mikes has spun.
Yep, you've got to concede that position, fella, or the FIA are going to be on to you. Oh, crikey. CGM Mikes. No.
Making contact with CGM Mikes. CGM Mikes may be at fault. He actually might be was one at fault for that.
That's not what we wanted. That's not what we wanted. Clean racing, Mr. Mikes. Expect that call from the FIA. I'm sorry. That move was very, very, very unacceptable.
The results will be edited probably if there are any penalties. So that's very unfortunate for DXT more. But all he can do is get his head down. I tell you what, Leo Suardo is absolutely rattling CGM Mikes. He's all over the back of them.
He's creeping up. He's absolutely creeping up, El Suardo. This is brilliant. This is brilliant from him. Really, really good from him.
For him just to get some extra points on the board, maybe push up into that, push away from that battle in P3.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of Quakes as well, that dive bomb he made is going to cost him. He's got a penalty for it. A bit overzealous, but you can understand with the points gap from the leaders, you've got to go for it. But yep, he's got to keep it cleaner than that. SM setting the fastest lap there, 132. He is off.
Yeah.
Absolutely flying.
But here we go. DRS will be on, should be on this next straight. And I tell you what, Leo Suardo may go for a move on the sister Red Bull. And here we go. Well,
he's had problems with teammates before, El Suardo. He really has, so he's got to be careful here.
making contact with championship contender Alec Millie made the goddamn silly.
Oh gosh, fantastic. Fantastic. Is
So
he going to dive
will he
it
go
here?
for a move? Ooh,
Good racing. Good decision.
yeah, good composure from Leo Suave. He knows he's got to keep it clean, keep it on track. Especially with the move that he tried to make on Quakes in the last race. He knows that he's got to be a bit wiser about his overtaking opportunities. And tell you what, Mike's is out of DRS this time, and Leo will close that gap. I think Leo will save the ERS for the main straight and go for the move into turn one.
Yeah. Just a quick flick through the ERSs of all parties. SM's currently sitting on 41%. CJ Marks is on 63, so he's prepared himself for falling out of DRS, I think, by saving it a bit. And El Suaro is actually on 20-something, so he has got a bit of an uphill battle.
Yeah, that Red Bull had a little bit of a flash on lap 3 already, so he's got to make the move and make it stick if he's going to make it. Here we go, Leo Suavo.
Oh, 131.7. What is going on?
SM is flying right now. I'll tell you what, Leo Suavo, ERS, DRS, slipstream down into turn 1 as DXT wanted to the fastest lap, but you can't make the move. Maybe he thinks better of it. Wait, 130.8. Wow.
Wait, what?
Was that a second faster than SM?
I think so. No, the maths is mathsing right now, but in any event, DXT is flying. That's all we know.
DXT he's on a vengeance, and his first victim, if he can get one, it will be Sun Kami. It might be his only victim simply because of the 5 laps we only have. But I tell you what, there's a bit of contact. Leo Suave was pushing CJ and Max through these corners.
Yeah.
Surely he's got to go for the move soon. Maybe he's waiting for the last lap.
He can't make the move. If CJ Marks needs to he's getting the launch, but he's not stepping on it quick enough, in my opinion. He should be making a bit more of a gap there. But El Suavo, I don't think he can make it here. Yeah, he thinks better of it.
Yeah. Why is
he's got
all this contact. There's contact, but they've somehow just kept it on track. But
space needs to be given. There is a lack of space. I think he's going to go for it now.
Yeah.
He's going for it now, but is this really the right ploy?
Yeah. Should he wait for the straight? And maybe Leo Suave will wait for the straight. No, he's not.
He's not.
But where's the detection point? I think the detection point is going into the last corner. Yeah, it's going into the last corner. So Leo might have DRS.
He does.
And he does.
He does.
So
but
Leo
he hasn't got ERS.
Should he have saved? Well, he had the DRS last lap. But he's going to go for the dive into turn 1. CJ Mice. He can't come back. But Mice will have DRS now. And surely he's got it. Surely Mice has got him coming down this next straight. He's got DRS. Leo is flashing. No DRS. But can Leo hold it around the outside?
This exit's tricky for the TC gang. Yep. Brilliant, Leo. Brilliant. Yep, he's got to concede there. Good drive from CJ Max. I fear a dive bomb coming here. Nope, he hasn't got the launch.
He's a bit too far back. Yeah. And that is brilliant driving from both Leo and CJ Max, really 2 men who need this P2. Obviously only 3 points is the gap, but those 3 points can come in massive at the end of the last race.
And the last race is Singapore. Goodness gracious me, what a way to end things.
Yeah, and I tell you what, SM on 25 points versus DXT and Moyland on currently 11 points.
Yeah.
SM might have just won this championship. And anything happened in Singapore, but SM might have just won this championship due to that contact between Moyland and who was it? It was CJ and Mike's. Yeah, on lap 2.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be a dive here.
There's going to be a dive, but he's gone for it. CJ and Mike's a dive bomb from the
the switcheroony. The switch-away Rooney.
Got him.
He's got him.
Just.
Great racing. 17. Oh my goodness.
17 thousandths between the two of them. That is absolutely magical racing between the two of them.
Great racing.
Both of them fighting to the end.
CJ and Mike's will have some questions to answer, I believe, in the FIA.
Definitely.
But it was fantastic conclusion to the race by him. Great racing. Fabulous stuff. Oh, goodness gracious me.
Yeah, need a beer after that one.
And breathe.
And breathe, definitely.
Whew. I'm pretty sure my dinner's downstairs waiting, getting cold. This is how exciting this racing is. I just can't move off this seat right now. It's brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant driving from start to finish, apart from that little incident. But in terms of will to wheel racing, that's probably the most action we've seen all day.
Yeah, most definitely. We've seen a fair glimpse as well. We really have. This is brilliant.
Yeah. What are the championship standings saying now?
Let me go through quickly. So the standings now are SM on 80. Oh goodness, you're kidding me.
Oh,
SM's on 86 points. DXT Moylan's only on 80 points. So the gap isn't as
ooh,
big as we thought.
yeah,
El Suavo Leo is on 60 points. He's fighting very hard, looking very, very strong. Mr. Quake's looking very, very good as well on 51 points. And CGM Mike's on 45 points with Sinkami on 34 points. You know, he's showing great determination, Sinkami, because, you know, the pace of the field is quite good, but he's still persisting and he really is showing some decent pace here and there.
yeah, yeah. We've got a top quality mini league here for you today. Season coming up soon. We
Yeah.
move on. We've
No,
got we've got a couple of weeks
Singapore.
to go, to be honest.
Yeah, no, we have. Sorry to interrupt you, but Singapore,
Yes.
if I remember correctly, you finished P3, P2.
I think it was P3. It was one of the, it
Yeah,
was
so
either P3 or
please
P2.
enlighten us. Where do you think Singapore? You know, where do you think people should be thinking to overtake in
Oh,
Singapore? And
I think really and truly, there's only a couple of spots. End of sector one. The
yeah,
first DRS straight. Oh, yeah, second DRS straight actually. But yeah, that
yeah,
little straight there with the curve.
yeah.
Definitely, we got Creeper Bomb 567 joining the lobby. Don't know if you've just seen that, but
I've seen that. Sorry if I could just excuse me, the FIA. Is that Jay? I don't know
oh, is
what's
that
going
James?
on.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
it's James. Oh,
James.
fair
Okay.
enough, fair enough. I
James
was
who
about to
did
call the
join
police.
us. Yeah. Yeah, so James who did join us for Abu Dhabi and Brazil, if I'm not mistaken, and very good racer, very clean racer as well. Looking forward to seeing James on track. Obviously, he would not win this championship. Everyone's a bit too far ahead now, but
Yeah.
you know, I mean, add more to the party, isn't it?
Absolutely, a bit more chaos, and that's what we want. We just want clean chaos. I do feel like quali is going to be very, very indicative of who wins this race because it is very difficult to overtake. Everyone's going to be running 50-50 wings, I believe, and that means that ERS is going to be absolutely flying up and not being able to be restored. So it's going to be interesting, but we now head to quali now.
Here we go. Drop one shot qualifying, one shot to make it count. And some Cammy's he's left the session
Oh,
actually.
he's left
I
the
mean,
session. Might have been a
oh
connection issue, but you know,
yeah,
life is too
yeah.
short. Let's go back to the race leader, who
Yep.
was Quakes at the time.
Anyway, Mr. Quakes in P1, as it stands, he's got
Okay,
something to play for, something to fight
he
for, and that
has.
is a seat that he was robbed of at the end or in the middle of the last season. But SM has taken that P1 back as we go through the DRS straight. Well, actually, it's a bit of a curb, to be honest. And
Yeah.
Quakes,
Oh, Quakes is fighting back hard.
yeah,
El
he's
Suavo
fighting
has
back.
come into
El
the
Suave's
fray as
fighting back
well.
hard. Where will DXT Moylan come into play? Will those tires come, or that no
No
TC come
TC.
in clutch
I think that
in
cooks in
sector two?
sector two as well. Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
cooks in more sector two. These are quite fastish bends. For example, here where Mr. Quakes is at the moment, and here just under that tunnel as well.
yeah,
So, yep, Moylan's already making his way
yeah,
up, and he is now in P1. This
definitely.
is exhilarating stuff. Oh, he might have
Oof,
had a bit of a moment.
yeah, a bit of a moment. DXT Moylan and Leo Suavo fighting for the lead. Leo Suavo actually had a bit of pace here before losing his front wing.
Yeah.
And holding up half the grid for
Yeah, I was just
during the
gonna,
race.
I was absolutely gonna interrupt you there. He had pace, but he did hold up myself and Ben. Shout out Ben, we were absolutely fuming. But anyway, back to quali because El Suavo is P1 and
El
he's looking
Suave's
good right now.
P1.
He's looking very
He is
good.
cooking an SM. You haven't said his name yet, but he's
Oh,
come in once again
TXT Moyland,
in
is
sector
he gonna
three.
get that launch? Is he gonna get that launch?
Here we
He is.
go
This
into
is
the
phenomenal.
final couple of corners. Double left hander, flicks it in. They all flick it in. Going into that straight,
Oh,
and it's DXT
unbelievable
Moylan
racing,
who takes
brilliant
it.
stuff.
And I tell you, I think Leo Suavo spun. I think Leo Suavo
Oh
spun. Oh, he's lost
no.
it again. Oh, he has.
He's got to go for it. He had to go for it. If he hits the
Yeah, I
curb and
think he
spin,
had
you'd
to go.
rather do that than just float
Yeah,
about at P3. He had to go for it.
yeah,
Fair play to him. Unlucky there, Leo. Unlucky. Great effort.
yeah. And I tell you what, That's the exact corner where Leo Suarez spun it in qualifying in the season last year.
Yeah. I will be honest with you. Anyone behind El Suave is going to have an absolute nightmare of a time getting past him because he's very good at really parking the bus on this track. So it'll be interesting to see how anyone can overtake him if they do, and we'll see what he can do going forward.
The drivers getting ready, warming up. Final race of the mini league. It's been a brilliant over. I mean, we've been here for nearly an hour and a half. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I say, I'm starving.
I haven't eaten since 12, so.
Oh Lord! Hungry. I thought there was a third person in the Charlie. It's you growling, bro.
And
here we go.
Red lights. And we're on the way. And I tell you what, has someone?
Oh
no, it's some cam.
They're trying to. They're going defensive already.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh no!
A bit of contact. SM's gone off the track. He might have to get that position back if he makes it.
No,
SM boys.
Looking at Creeper. SM7.
Oh,
SM crashed out. SM's out.
It's Creeper. Oh my goodness. And I tell you what, turnabouts is fair play. DXT Moyland, if he can win this race, he wins the mini league.
But I'll be honest with you, and we have to remember. Oh, we've had a spinner, Rooney. It's Mr. Quakes. Oh no.
Quakes.
Oh no, they're dropping like flies. But I must be honest with you, SM has got to keep his head down because this is a very difficult no TC track. So there could be a moment for Moylan later on in the race. I'm not wishing it on him, but SM has to keep fighting. He has to keep fighting.
Definitely tight corners, close barriers. Anything can happen in Singapore, to be honest. We've seen people lose their front wings by going a tad bit too deep. So got to keep it clean.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And here we go into sector 3. We have a rise. And tell you what, DXT Moylan has a 1.5 second gap, 1.7 second gap on CGM Mikes, and it's growing corner by corner. And if DXT Moylan is locked in like this, it's going to be very hard stopping.
And you know where it's going to be a bit difficult. It's that exit after the tunnel. That tunnel in sector 3, that can be difficult, but it looks like DXT Moylan has got it to an absolute T at the moment, and he really is really pushing track limits at the moment, all legally. He's right on the edge of the track. It's brilliant racing, it really is.
And I tell you what, CJ Mikes is struggling, and Leo Suave is all over the back of him. Does Mikes have an issue? Does he have no front wing? Because the gap is 3.6 seconds.
I'm trying to have a look. His wing looks all right, but that could be an optical illusion. So, I wish we could speak to the drivers, but they're busy at the moment.
Yeah, they're a bit too busy right now. Maybe a bit of team radio next time.
Brilliant.
CGM Mikes in P2, Leo Suavo in P3, the two Red Bulls. Tell you what, Leo Suavo may have a taste of his own medicine. In terms of being stuck behind someone here.
Yeah. And if I remember what he said in defense, he said, "You got to charge it." So yeah, you're charging it now, fella.
Can Leo Suave make the move? 5 seconds in 2.5 laps DXT Moylan has made on the rest of the grid. Surely Mike has an issue. It's
at the end of this tunnel. Traction is difficult to find here. So he's got to keep it steady, and he's done so. I remember seeing Gel spin there in the third quali session.
He spun there.
Oh no, he's had a moment.
But he's kept it clean. He's still on the back of it. He's got to have damage. Surely Max has damage.
He must do.
39.3.
Oh, if we could get some feedback from the FIA as to what the fastest lap time was in our league, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. But here we go into turn 1. DRS. Oh! Leo Suave's lost it. He's lost it. Oh, and I want to spin for Quakes as well.
Oh, is he taking them with him?
Oh my goodness. And I tell you what, that is giving CGM Mikes a bit of breathing room. However, he's got James behind it, but that is heartbreak for Leo Suave. Absolute heartbreak. Oh my goodness.
The fastest lap in the race in the league was a 1 minute 40.1 from Royal Dukes.
Okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
So DXT Moyland has come onto the scene with a message.
An absolute message, and he's done it in my car, the Alpine message. You've got to give that back at the end of this season.
Yes.
At the end of this mini league, I need my car back, please. Me and Ryan have got work to do, so yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, DXT Moyland, that is a rental. You better not crash it.
I'm telling you, this is brilliant stuff. He is flying, like I said, though. 7.6, lap 3, albeit Mike probably has damage, but this is still frightening.
This is frightening pace from DXT Moyland, as you said. CGM Mike's has James. Oh, it's a bit of a...
I'm seeing yellow flags.
Yeah, yellow flags. I think it might be Quakes. Who has no front wing right now, so he'll probably be coming into the pits.
Okay. Sparks flying from under DXT Moyland's car. I think I'm gonna have a look elsewhere. He looks like he's got this under control. Let's have a look at James. He's looking like he's got a bit of a run on CGM Mike's. He's got to do it on the next straight. He has to, or he will be absolutely stuck behind him. This straight here, he's got to work on that launch and make sure the launch is good. But CGM Mike's on no traction control. He's going to get a better exit if he gets it right. Let's have a look.
I believe James is on no traction control as well.
Oh, he's on no traction control as well?
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
Fair play.
Here we go. Can he make the move?
He might have to wait till lap 5 then. CGM probably... a bit wide there. Really good racing this.
Yeah. Quakes is in the pits. Might go for that fastest lap. If he can on the final lap. Son Cammy, he has returned into the session, and he is in P4, defending from SM.
Okay, that's going to be interesting.
And yeah, these two
keep it clean. I'll have a look at the SM Son Cammy battle, and I think you keep an eye on James and CGM Mike's, because that is looking tasty. I think this move's going to be done here, in fact.
Yep.
SM,
it looks like it.
47%. Oh no, maybe not. Yep. Dive bomb. You have to leave the space. SM's left the space. Brilliant racing, and the move has been done. Oh!
SM's gone. SM
now
gone.
I must say, he left the space there very well, and that's why he went into the wall. He actually left space, unfortunately.
That is so unfortunate.
That is very unfortunate. He left the space and he's ended up absolutely finished. I've never seen a tyre hanging off the car like that. Usually it's stuck on. The tyre's fully gone. Unbelievable stuff. That's unfortunate, though.
And that is his championship hopes dead and buried. He will have to rely on DXT Moyland to maybe pick him for that half seat.
Or he's still got Skeezy. You know, Skeezy's still there. I can hear him.
Skeezy. Skeezy's still writing down his notes.
Taking bribes, all of that.
Yep.
Oh, brilliant stuff. DXT Moyland just running away with it. 11 seconds.
Yeah, you can cruise to the finish here. There's no need to over-egg it. I think he's got the fastest lap, unless Quakes might want to take it from him in the last lap with his fresh tyres. But DXT Moyland, he's looked formidable around here.
He has. This is reminding me of Gel's performance at Monaco. It was just from start to finish, just off. You know, these street tracks, if you get it right with the no TC, you're flying. And, you know, he's now taking his time coasting around the last corner, as he's earned the right to do so. 12 seconds, approaching 13 seconds. This is brilliant stuff.
Yep. And CGM Mike's, despite having all the pressure in the world, he's actually gained a bit of time on James. 1.2 is the gap, and he might be able to hold on for P2.
Yep.
I think Mike's was over 20 points behind SM, so he won't jump up in the championship in terms of into P2, but definitely a good performance if you're looking at the Skeezy choice. Skeezy probably, I think DXC1 will probably pick whoever finishes second in this championship, which is SM most likely not, due to Leo's retirement. Very good racing today from the guys. Very impressed. And a couple of names you've got to look out for going into next season.
Unbelievable. This has been, it's been a joy. It's been a joy to partner you as well, Billy. Thank you very much. You've been fantastic. You've given such fantastic commentary. It's been nice
You
to
have as
join
well,
you
my
and
friend.
just chip in here and there.
Brilliant work from the guys as Quakes comes around in the final sector. Maybe pushing for that fastest lap. Can't really tell, can't see his splits right now, but he looks like he's on the limit. He's flashing a bit though, a bit of a corner cut too. So he's definitely pushing for it. Can he get it? I don't think he does.
I don't think they give it to you when you drive through a barrier to get it.
When you corner cut like that.
But brilliant stuff, guys. And I'm not too sure what the arrangement is in terms of announcements, but I'll leave that to the league owner to send a message to the Discord. Thank you for joining us here today, and please, Bolu, conclude because you've been fantastic.
Yes, so we're waiting for the championship standings to load currently as DXD and Moylan comes up, celebrates on the top step.
Yeah, no greedy, but we move.
Yeah, wow, 39-3. DXD and Moylan finished on 106 points, 12 points ahead of SM25. Leo Suavo on 66, 40 points behind the leader. CGM Max jumps up to 4th after that performance at Singapore, 63. And Mr. Quakes, 61. Sun Cami on 46. And James Hilty joined the last race.
That's a significant amount of points for all races, to be fair. Well played to everybody. They really, really contributed well. Really, really contributed well.
I've got to say, we've got to be wary of DXD and Moylan's pace around Singapore because, wow, he is 2 seconds ahead of the next driver. That is impressive. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here today. We're looking forward to the season. I think 28th of February, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember.
What were you talking about? 19th of Jan, fella. Get yourself in the lab. Talk about Valentine's Day. Jesus.
Sorry, January. January.
Brilliant.
It's going to be an interesting season. As I said before, a shorter season, only 16 races. The tracks have been announced, and I am just looking forward to getting back into the car, and maybe a bit more commentary.
To be honest, I'll be honest with you. I think there might be a sesh later, which may be streams. There might be a social sesh just to celebrate all the new races a bit later.
Ooh.
I'm gonna leave that to Royal to discuss. But yeah, it's been brilliant, guys. Thank you so much. This has been fantastic to share this racing with you.
Yep. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you later. Bye.
Yep. Good night. I mean, later.
Bang! I ended the stream once Molly ended.
Oh, that was hilarious, man. That was so much fun.
I need to watch that back, man. I need to watch the whole thing.
I need to watch
that back.
I need to go. I need to have dinner. But Royal, we need a sesh. Tell them, man. 10, 11. We're starting a sesh. 5 laps.
Yeah.
Say 9.
Well done, you guys. I'm gonna go and have something to eat.
Love Skeezy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna grab some food, man. In a bit.
Man.
Alright, man, then. That's it. Stream's over.